Jungkook speechless as Jimin breaks down during song. Is there more than just friendship between them? What really happened on that glowing stage when the world expected a performance, but witnessed a breakdown? What was it in Jimin's tears that stopped Jungkook mid-note, froze his entire body, and turned a concert into an unforgettable confession of emotion? When the lights hit the stage and three BTS legends, Jungkook, J-Hope, and Jimin, stood united to perform Unraveling, no one could predict that one of them would shatter under the weight of unspoken pain, and that another would nearly follow. Was this just nostalgia, or something deeper, something BTS has hidden beneath smiles for over a decade? It happened in a heartbeat, yet the world can't stop replaying it. June 13th, 2025.
Goyang.
The city already humming with the pulse of BTS's 12th anniversary and the final stop of J-Hope's Hope on the Street tour. The air was dense, electric, heavy with the feeling that something would happen. Fans who had waited years to see even three BTS members share a stage again were rewarded with more than they asked for. They got Unraveling, but not the version they remembered. This one was raw, vulnerable, breaking. The song began the way fans dreamed. J-Hope's steady rhythm opened the moment like a memory revisited. Jin's voice painted the nostalgia. And Jungkook? He came in like a wave, smooth, grounded, anchoring the stage. But it was Jimin, unexpected, unannounced, who appeared from the shadows, as if called by something greater than the script. And in the middle of that haunting verse, he broke. Not all tears are seen, but these were visible, shimmering under the spotlight, traced by millions of eyes and recorded by trembling phones that didn't know they were documenting a moment that would shake the fandom to its core. Jungkook noticed first. He didn't glance.
He turned. Completely.
His microphone still close to his lips, but no sound came out. His entire body shifted toward Jimin, as though instinctively drawn to protect, to understand, to reach. But what he saw stopped him. Jimin was crying, not quietly, not subtly. His chest was rising fast. His lips trembled around the lyrics. His hands were clenched at his sides, as if holding onto something fragile, invisible. Was it grief? Was it joy? Was it something darker? Jungkook stood frozen, his eyes wide, not with performance, but panic. Genuine, heart-racing shock. And then the words left his mouth, barely audible, but caught on fan cameras. "Hyung, what's wrong?" The rest of the concert became a blur. Fans cheered louder, confused, hopeful, unsure whether to cry or sing louder in support. Jin gently placed a hand on Jimin's back, rubbing circles. J-Hope turned toward staff as if asking silently, "Do we stop?" But it was Jungkook who couldn't move on. He didn't finish his lines. He didn't even smile the way he usually does when calming a situation. His jaw was tight, his fists clenched, and when the song ended, he walked straight to Jimin, not as a bandmate, not as a performer, but as something more. He embraced him, fully, desperately, like someone afraid that if he let go, Jimin would fall apart, and the audience, thousands strong, fell silent. Cameras lowered, tears spilled freely. What they were watching was no longer a concert. It was a moment of truth. What did those tears mean? Why now, during this song? And what made Jungkook, usually so composed, whisper in Korean, "He's more than family to me. I can't watch him cry again." Those words broke the internet. Within minutes, Jungkook Jimin Unraveling trended globally. Armies flooded social media with videos, translations, theories, heartbreak. What was behind Jimin's collapse? Was it the lyrics, "I'm fine, I'm not fine," that struck too deep? Was it seeing Jin, Hobi, and Jungkook reunited, while missing RM, Suga, and V? Or was there something we still didn't know? Flashback clips began resurfacing, moments from 2020, 2021, even military discharge days, when Jimin and Jungkook seemed closer than ever. Whispers of a bond stronger than friendship, a connection born not just of shared stages, but of shared silence, shared wounds. Fans remembered the Still With You performance when Jimin stood in the wings with glassy eyes. The 2022 Festa, when Jungkook cried after saying, "I can't do this without you." And now, 2025, With Jimin in tears on the very anniversary that should have celebrated their strength, Jungkook could only look on, voiceless. I guess this what happens when idols carry more than just music in their hearts. The industry thrives on images, masks, perfection. But this wasn't choreographed. This wasn't PR. This was the kind of breakdown no management company allows unless it's real.
Raw. Honest.
And perhaps decades in the making. Jimin didn't speak after the performance. He was escorted backstage, holding tightly onto Jungkook's hand. Not a word exchanged with staff.
No interviews.
No encore, but Jungkook did speak. Quietly. Offstage. Unplanned. A camera caught him looking at a small group of fans near the edge, and he mouthed, "He's okay. He just remembers everything." Everything. That single word set off a storm. Everything about what? The trauma of fame? The years of hiding pain? Or something between them that the public was never meant to see? In the following days, sources close to Big Hit offered no comment. But that silence spoke louder than a press release. And insiders noticed something else. Jungkook wasn't scheduled for that performance. He was supposed to fly back from Japan after a private schedule. Yet he changed his plans last minute.
To be there.
Why? Did he know Jimin would break? Or worse, did Jimin ask him to come in case he couldn't make it through alone? What fans didn't see, but was later confirmed by one concert crew member, was this. Just minutes before going on stage, Jimin sat alone, eyes closed, headphones on.
And Jungkook?
He kneeled in front of him, holding his hands, whispering something no one else heard. And when Jimin opened his eyes, they were already full of tears. Why perform if he knew he would cry? Why sing a song so tied to pain unless he had no choice? Could it be that this performance was a farewell of sorts? A letting go, fans aren't sure. Some believe it's a sign of reunion. BTS finally allowing themselves to feel again after years of suppression. Others worry it's the opposite, a hidden goodbye, a sign that something has changed forever. But one thing is certain, that night in Goyang was not just a performance. It was a revelation, and Jungkook's reaction may be the biggest clue. He didn't just react like a friend. He responded like someone who had seen those tears before, in private, in secret, and knew exactly what they meant. Someone who had held Jimin before, not as a bandmate, but as a safe place. Someone who knew when silence was louder than music. In one backstage moment, an unnamed staffer described Jungkook as shaking after the performance. Not from adrenaline, but from fear. He reportedly refused to speak to anyone but Jimin, saying only, "Don't let him go alone." What did that mean? Is Jimin going through something darker behind the scenes? Something that even the members haven't shared publicly? And is Jungkook carrying part of that burden? The days following the performance have only deepened the mystery. Jimin has gone completely silent on social media. No posts.
No replies.
Nothing. Jungkook, meanwhile, posted one thing, a black and white photo of the Goyang stage.
No caption. No tags.
Just emptiness. The fandom waits, wonders, watches, analyzes every blink, every gesture from that night, and the question lingers, what broke Jimin in that moment? Was it the lyrics? The anniversary? The weight of a decade? Or was it looking to his side and seeing the only person who's ever truly understood him and realizing he still couldn't say the one thing he's always wanted to say? Whatever happened that night, the world will never forget it. Not because of the tears, not because of the song, but because, for once, two legends of the biggest group on Earth let the walls drop, and what we saw behind those walls might be the realest love story K-pop has never told. But this wasn't the first time Jimin had cried during a performance. What made this moment so unforgettable, so irreversible, was who was there to witness it. Jungkook, his younger brother not by blood but by bond, the man who had stood beside him from teenage auditions to world stadiums, didn't just witness it. He broke with him, and the question we're all afraid to ask begins to echo louder. Is Jimin okay? After that night, fan theories surged into overdrive. Korean and international ARMY alike revisited past. Interviews, behind-the-scenes clips, even faint lyrics buried in mixtapes, trying to uncover if Jimin had given us clues. Some pointed to his 2020 Weverse post where he wrote, Sometimes I feel like singing is the only place I can be myself, but sometimes I feel even there, I'm hiding. Others noted his more recent return from military hiatus, where he appeared thinner, quieter, more withdrawn. Yet on that stage in Goyang, he wasn't hiding anymore.
He was seen.
Fully.
Completely.
Heart first, mask off. And that kind of vulnerability doesn't just happen. It's triggered by something or someone. So again, the question becomes impossible to ignore. Was it Jungkook's presence that broke the dam? It was easy to miss, but a fan in the fifth row caught the precise moment Jimin turned and locked eyes with Jungkook. It was during the line, "Every day repeats itself," when Jimin's voice cracked and the tears began falling in earnest. That's when his eyes wandered, searching for something familiar, something safe, and found Jungkook's. The look they exchanged was short but volcanic. Jimin seemed to crumble in that instant, like everything he had suppressed finally screamed for release. And Jungkook, he didn't flinch. He stepped forward, not as part of choreography, but out of instinct. What has happened between these two men that we don't know? Insiders have long whispered about their closeness. Late-night studio sessions, shared tattoos, unspoken words in live broadcasts that never got subtitles. The Jungkook fandom has existed for years, with believers and doubters alike. But this was different. This wasn't ship theory. This was live pain. Tangible, unavoidable. Jin's role, too, is crucial in this story. As the eldest young and emotional compass of the group, he had just returned from his full military service, stronger, calmer, more composed. But even he couldn't look away from Jimin's collapse. During the final chorus, Jin pulled Jimin closer, offering his shoulder wordlessly. And Jungkook, he placed his hand over both of theirs. Three of them, bound together not by business, but by something only they understand. J-Hope, ever the professional, held the song together vocally. But even he, Mr. Sunshine, was seen wiping tears from the corner of his eye by the time the lights dimmed. What was meant to be a celebratory finale to J-Hope's solo tour became something else entirely, a real-time unraveling of the emotional cost behind the BTS legacy. The fans didn't cheer wildly during the closing bow. They stood, silent, holding purple light sticks in trembling hands, unsure whether to cry or smile. A mother was seen holding her daughter beside the barricade, both wiping tears wordlessly. A man in his 30s pressed his lips together, whispering, "They're human too." In the days that followed, Korean media outlets cautiously approached the incident. Most didn't print the raw footage. Too intimate, too sacred. But fans uploaded their own angles, editing them respectfully and adding captions like, "This isn't drama, this is reality." Others used phrases like, "We watched two hearts speak on stage," and their silence said more than any lyrics could. Jungkook's silence afterward became a signal. In a behind-stage clip accidentally released by a backup dancer's Instagram story, Jungkook is seen sitting alone, his head in his hands. Not crying, just breathing hard, like someone who had just run a marathon of emotions. A crew member places a bottle of water next to him. He doesn't take it. His only words in that 14-second clip are whispered into his palms. "I didn't know it would be this hard." Did he mean the performance? Jimin's pain? Or something deeper still? Jimin, meanwhile, remains ghost silent. No social media, no Weverse posts, no airport appearances. Some fans fear he has retreated again, much like he did in late 2018 after the Love Yourself tour, where he confessed later, "There were nights I didn't want to wake up." But others believe this silence is part of healing, that the crack we saw on stage wasn't a breakdown, it was a breakthrough. Perhaps this is Jimin's way of saying, "I'm finally ready to let the world see me, not as an idol, but as a person." And if so, what role does Jungkook play in that journey? The Jungkook we saw in Goyang wasn't Golden Magne. He wasn't the flawless center. He was a man terrified for someone he loved. And that kind of fear doesn't lie. It doesn't perform. It exposes. "He's more than family to me," Jungkook had said, thinking no one heard, but we did. And we can't unhear it in Korean culture. Family holds enormous weight. To say someone is more than family, that's not casual. That's